Hey, what's up? Welcome to the channel. I'm just some guy. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. If you're not new here, well, welcome back. So, as the title suggested, I'm thinking of moving. Not houses or anything like that, but I think that I'm going to move my computer, my main desktop, back into this office. Now, originally I moved out of this office and into the other office because I was streaming all the time and I had a green wall in there. And so it made green screening a lot easier. And that was like the big reason. So I have like one of those extendable green screens and stuff for when I used to stream and here all the time and stuff like that. But one of the problems that I have with the other office is I don't have a lot of natural light in there. And I do in this office. I've got the skylights, I've got this big window behind me and stuff like that. And I've noticed that I like working on like code and stuff more in here than I do over in there. And I think the reason is well, one, I can work on code during the day while I'm working. Now, for me, I've never really had a problem with like just not doing work after a certain time of day, right? A lot of people will be like, oh, I have to keep my work computer in another room or else I'll find myself doing work all night and blah, 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 and answering emails. I've never had that problem. 5 o'clock comes around and I typically don't answer anything. That's when you pay me till. I don't answer anything in the morning until like 9 o'clock, and 5 o'clock comes around, I'm gone. Now, that doesn't take into consideration like my extra projects, like the RAG chatbot that I've been building. That's a whole other thing, and that's because I want to do that. But I'm thinking I might move everything back in here. Now, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that or where I'm going to put that. But I also think that it would be good to have that computer in here because, well, that computer's beefier. That computer's got a lot more horsepower than this thing right here. And I know I don't need a lot of horsepower to code, but when I'm doing things like, running TTS servers and things like that, I'd like to be able to do it on that computer. Now, granted, I can set whatever I need to up to localhost and then connect to it over here, but then I have to walk all the way over there, then walk all the way back here, then walk in there, make sure that that's working, walk back over in here, and stuff like that. And I think that it would just be better to just move the stuff in here. Plus, that way I can clean up a little bit more and like put some of my figures and stuff like that in that other room, and just kind of have this as like the computer center, the office. It just kind of go from there. But I think that like just spending more time in here, because like even on the days where I don't have like a whole lot of work and I can just kind of work from like a remote desktop or just answer stuff for my phone, and I'm in the other office, like maybe playing some video games or something like that. Like, yeah, it's got some windows, but I don't know, that office just, it doesn't have good overhead, like natural light or anything like that. And I think that having this light in here and more space, because like this room has got a lot of space, I think having that is very helpful in like my mood and like getting stuff done. I honestly haven't even really went in there. Well, no, that's not true. Over the weekend I did do some work on some stuff in there. But I think that like having it back in here um, is probably the best course of action, and just making this like the literal computer server room. The only problem that I think I will have is that I'm pretty sure I might have just a straight up power source issue in here versus having my stuff in there. Because it's on two separate breakers. And now you might be like, oh, well, you know, you're only, like, how would you have that type of problem? Look, dog, I've got a work computer, I've got a laptop, I've got this computer, I've got the TV, I've got the air conditioner, I've got another computer over there. There's lights and stuff that come on in here. And not only that, but I'm pretty sure the way that this is wired is that this wall is on some other circuit, because I remember like when I blew circuits like back in the day when I had like everything in here, like half of this room would go out and then like the kitchen. So I'm sure that my wiring is all goofy, so I might have to figure out how to do that. I also don't know exactly where I would want to put my computer in here, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll keep them separate. I don't know. But I was just thinking about that because it's like I feel like I get more done in here than I do in the other room, even when I'm like working on a project specifically. And maybe it's just that computer has like Discord and like a whole bunch of other stuff on it, so maybe I'm like, I don't know, more distracted. But I just feel like during the day with the light and like the outside, you know, and stuff like that, the view, that I get more done than in my dark room over there. Even with like the windows with the curtains open, it's still, the light doesn't come in this direction, right? Now, on the flip side, depending on where I put my computer, these windows can be a real big pain as well, because, you know, in the middle of the day or morning, you have the sun directly in, hitting one of your monitors, or, you know, you're trying to be on camera or something like that, and then like you just have this halo over your head. Yeah. But I do think I might move it back. It's been in there for quite a while now. The problem that I have is that it took two people to move that desk from in there over to here. I don't specifically know how I want to set it up. I might put it over here. So I've got this area right here, right? Where I could probably put the desk either this way or, you know, frame it over here. So that way it's still over here. My work stuff is like right here. And then the other desk is over here. And I could probably set it up that way, but I don't know yet. And I also don't know how I'm going to move all of that in here. I might have to just like bring the stuff, like I might just bring my computer in, set it all up on like the floor, and then just run it for a while and then test to see if the power in here works fine, and then move the desk in here. But we'll see. We shall see. I think it'll also just, it gives me more room to move around and stuff like that. And, you know, when I was a professional streamer, I cared a lot about a background green screen, but I think that like right now I just don't. Like, I'm not even really streaming all that much, and if I do, I'll just put a little block down there, or I don't even have to have a camera on. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyways, I was just thinking about that, and I also feel like, you know, I haven't been making a whole lot of videos lately, so I wanted to I wanted to start just whenever I have something I want to yap about, I'll just yap about it. It's been kind of interesting because it seems like every video that I've been putting up lately, I lose 3 or 4 subs and then I like slowly gain them back. So I don't know if people are just like leaving because they're like, oh, this dude, like, I forgot I was you know, sub to this channel or something like that. But it's just been kind of interesting that it's just like it kind of like goes down 3 and then up 3 and then or back to where it was. But I still don't know what I'm gonna do, what I'm doing with this channel, man. So you know, we'll see how much I do for updates and stuff like that. But you know, if I do move stuff in here, I'll let you guys know and I'll show you the setup and stuff like that. But for now, I am going to hit the treadmill, watch some stuff, and I've got a work meeting in like 30 minutes. So as always, I appreciate you guys if you've made it this far. If you like this content, like, fave, subscribe, comment down below. If you dislike it, don't really care, because I'm going to keep making it anyways. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take it easy, homies. Peace out.